We are live. We are live. What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. Sergeant Har here with Mark Richardson. How's things going out there in La La Land, Mark?
Good. Everything's good. Beautiful day. Water's warm. It's great. It's great to be alive.
It's turning out hot here. Beth says, love it. Well, we love having you all here with us, Beth. Hope everything's fine. Liz says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Liz. We got a couple more people joining in a moment. If you're watching this, hit the share button. We're going to talk about what's your favorite out of the three: Candyman,
Candyman, and Candyman.
Don't keep saying it, Mark.
I think we're going to get Sammy Davis Jr. coming out after us. Who can make the sun shine?
Levi says hello. Hello,
hey, Levi.
If you ain't never seen one of his escaped LAs, he escapes LA and goes to Disneyland, and it's pretty entertaining.
Don't go drinking with that man. Woo!
Woo! And Scott says, what's up, guys? What's up, Scott? Hope you're doing fine in West Virginia. God's country, by God, West Virginia. Man, I'm scared of heights, so those mountains, those mountains get me.
I've never been to West Virginia.
It says, Daddy says, hope you guys had a good day. Was excited when I saw the post earlier about this. Well, thank you, Daddy. We appreciate each one of you joining in and watching it. We're going to talk some horror and hang out. Can you hear us, Zoe?
I can hear you.
We got Zoe in the house out there in LA in the West Coast. What's up, my Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror nerd fan? How you doing, Zoe?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Now, let me ask you a question right off the bat, Zoe. And I need to know this, and you be truthful.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Would you look in the mirror and say Candyman 5 times?
Oh. Shoot, my camera's getting all weird. Hold on. I'm trying to position myself.
There you go. I see you now.
Yes.
You would.
Yes, I would.
And I know Mark would. That's not even a question.
Hell yeah.
And, we hear these myths, what is it? Bloody Mary, Candyman, that creates an atmosphere for a really good horror movie.
Yeah.
But you know what's odd is I'm superstitious. Like I won't walk under a ladder. I have if it's just like a cat crossing. I've had black cats all my life. If it crosses my path, I freak out if I don't know the cat. But all those myths, I'm intrigued by them. But I do it. But have you ever did this? Have you ever took like a candle and try to summon any type of evil in a mirror in the dark and just staring at yourself? Have you guys ever did something like that when you were a kid?
Not with a mirror, no.
Yeah,
So pretty much, Mark, you spent your childhood running around summons up some stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's great.
It gets creepy, and you could honestly creep yourself out doing that crap.
I'm sure. Yeah, we played with the Ouija board.
Chase says hi. Hi, Chase.
Hey, Chase. Love Seymour.
Now, what is your thoughts, Mark, on the original Candyman movie?
When I first saw it, I loved it. I love Tony Todd. I love Clive Barker, though. There's something about that cat that, there's an elegance to Candyman. There was an elegance to that whole thing that I really loved. I also loved it being in the ghetto and that whole vibe and like kids dress up like Candyman and go beating people up. That was really a very cool concept for early on back in the day. It's a tragic story. Out of all of them, it's my favorite.
Now, if you guys watching this, I got to ask two favors of you. One, hit that share button so you can get other people in the community that wants to talk horror with us tonight. So share it up, share it up, share it up. And two, leave a comment, and I want to know, would you say Candyman or Bloody Mary 5 times? And Zoe, before I get to you, Stitch says, I feel like most of us tried that as a kid at least once. And Beth says, light as a feather, stiff as a board, that always good one.
Yeah.
And Sarah says, Bloody Mary, LOL. What's up, Sarah? Thanks for joining us. So, Zoe, what are your thoughts on
I actually watched it for the first time today. So I'm a newbie with it, but I really enjoyed it. I think it was very unique and original. I like seeing a cast of color. That's kind of not normalized in the horror group a lot, and I think that was really cool. He makes a great villain. I love his voice. I love his look. I think he's very iconic. A little underrated, I think, now that I've seen it.
Yeah, Tony is a good actor. I like a movie that him and Bill Moseley did called The Graves. It was one of those 8 films to die for. And when I look at Candyman, I think Clive Barker is just an insane genius that was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And, at that period of time, except for, and I could be wrong. This is just my opinion, and you guys chime in with yours. But I'm thinking George Romero with Night of the Living Dead, that was the first time you had a diversity in the cast, much less an African American being the lead male actor opposite of a female that was Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in Candyman, and that's just a tragic story. One, Chicago is a very violent city. I mean, from Al Capone, the gangster days of the Tommy Guns and Prohibition, the Bloody Massacre, Valentine's Day Massacre they had out there in Chicago. It's a lot of history out there. And I just feel like that Chicago is a great setting, especially Cabrini Greens, because that has a unique history. Now, we have with us, I'm going to break it on, one of our Mad Monster writers and author, Sylvester. What's going on, Sylvester?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you?
We were just talking about, we got Mark Richardson here. You've seen Mark before. He's Power Rangers, props. Zoe, she's a fellow horror nerd. She was just commenting about how she enjoyed Candyman because of the diversity in the movie. And I was talking about, besides George Romero casting an African-American as a lead opposite of a Caucasian lady, Candyman really stepped up and provided us some diversity and horror at the time from Clive Barker. What's your thoughts on the original Candyman, Sylvester?
The same as you guys. I feel like it was the first horror movie that legitimately scared me because, I don't know, for me, I feel like horror has to be relatable, and most horror franchises weren't too relatable to me. Like, I was never going to be at Camp Crystal Lake. I didn't grow up on Elm Street. Nothing really stuck with me, but Candyman stuck with me. It was an inner city thing. And, like, across the street from, because I lived in the projects when I first saw it, so across the street from my window, I could see a park just like that with the red bathrooms and everything and graffiti. So it terrified me. And the representation just made it more real for me. Like, I never saw a iconic character like Candyman until I was introduced to that series.
And Tony Todd did an amazing job with it. And when I look at Cabrini Greens, for those people that don't know what Cabrini Greens is, it's a housing project in Chicago that is the home of a notorious gentleman by the name of Larry Hoover, who established the Folk Nation and the Gangster Disciples and the Insane Gangster Disciples. He's currently in prison, but during that time when Candyman came out, it was a battlefield in that area. It was I don't think she could have really walked into Cabrini Greens like that in real life.
She did a lot of things in that movie that she couldn't have did in real life. So.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I asked everybody that I wanted to throw out here, Sylvester, is would you look in the mirror and say Candyman 5 times?
No. I feel like the especially in the universe of the movie, I feel like the whole concept of saying his name was like the people that did it basically didn't believe in him and disrespected his history and his whole mythos. And that's why they got murdered. Everyone that believed in him didn't even want to say his name, regardless of a mirror being there. So,
Yeah, it was a Freddy Krueger vibe where he wanted his legend to go on. You had to know him.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Scott says he would say Candyman in the mirror. And Levi says, nope, he wouldn't do it. Scott says, love Candyman. And Victoria says, love it, done it before. Victoria said, did Candyman jump out? Did something scare you? Sarah said, I tried Bloody Mary and Ouija board and light as a feather. You braver than me sometimes on that mess.
Yeah, my mother wouldn't let me play with a Ouija board.
Nah,
I was closet, but yeah.
I've had Ouija boards all my life. I have a Ouija board blanket, pillow. My business card, my business card from the 80s is a Ouija board. I remember I'd give it to people and they wouldn't take it. And I'd always say, "Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll make a Candy Cane Lane one for you guys." You know. Hey, I don't mean to blow you guys off of what we're talking about, but do you guys? I've always with Clive Barker. He doesn't scare me as much as he makes me feel pain. Clive Barker to me, you know, even with Hellraiser, even with Nightbreed, there's something about pain in Clive Barker that when you watch these films, you always feel this horrible pain. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I get that. I've only seen
he definitely tried
Hellraiser, but yeah, I do feel that. It's definitely there.
Yeah, he definitely pulls out like deep emotions from you through his characters. So it's not always horrific. It's you just kind of relate to what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Have you guys all met him at these conventions? He's a sweetheart. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I was in the elevator with him one time, and he kind of looked at me like I was a little strange. So I don't know.
Were you in makeup?
Did you have the mask on?
I mean, I always go out looking good, you know.
I can't imagine why you would think that.
Matt said I said Beetlejuice 3 times into my mirror, and now Michael Keaton is in a living room in my game room. Is living in my game room. I like
Ask
that
him about the new Flash movie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I always make a joke that if you say Candy Cane, if you play Candy Cane Lane 3 times, Tony Todd will show up and ask for some kind of residual check.
His books have a certain poetry that generates real fear and can't translate into movies. You know, that's pretty powerful. I mean, he definitely. When I look at Candyman, my thoughts with the movie was like, should we remake it or should we not? What do you guys think? Let's start with you, Sylvester. Should they? I mean, we know they're remaking it, but hypothetically, if you were a studio executive calling the shots and somebody said, let's remake Candyman, what would your thoughts be on that?
I like how they're doing it. It's more of a sequel, kind of like how the new Halloween was, than a like straight reboot or anything. So I support that because deeper into the series, like what the other 2 movies, they weren't that great. So if you want to just connect to the first one and dive deeper into the mythology, I support that. I mean, I've seen the trailer and I like the whole vibe of it. I like the dark vibe of it. It kind of reminds me of was it Elm Street 2, because it seems like Candyman's trying to possess people to bring back his story. But
exactly.
Yeah, Yeah, I support it. I would definitely greenlight a Candyman movie. It'd be good.
What about you, Zoe? Would you greenlight it?
I think only if Tony Todd's able to do it.
He does a cameo in it. He's in it, but he's not Candyman. I don't think.
I don't know.
No.
It depends.
Yep. What about you, Mark? So Sylvester would do it. Zoe would do it if Tony Todd was attached. What would you do, Mark?
I think it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to be Peele's one of his better ones. I think in this climate, we need it, and I just think it's going to be badass. I think it's going to be more violent than we've ever seen it. As much as I love the original, when you watch it, it gets boring. This movie is not going to be boring, in my opinion. I think it's going to be badass. At least I'm. But then again, I go into any film wanting it to be badass. But I honestly believe it is going to be.
Well, Andy says Halloween remake was terrible. It was lacking. They talked about that before. Stitch says they'd have to make it. They'd have to make it more relevant to today. The original was relevant to the time, so that you could completely do a remake.
I think they have. That guy's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on right now. I think it's going to be badass.
I love being a horror fan, is what Crystal says. A door shutter app and keep those horror films coming. That's what I'm talking about. And Angela says Tony Todd is billed as Candyman in the 2020. I don't believe him.
Wow.
What I was going to say is let's check out the trailer together. I'm going to add it to our stream. And let's take a second. If you guys watching, you let us know what you think of the trailer.
Candyman. The urban legend is, if you say his name 5 times while looking in the mirror, he appears in the reflection and kills you.
Who would do that?
I love this.
Candyman. Candyman.
Woo!
Well, we're still alive.
That's great.
Let's go.
You're trapped in the bathroom!
Yeah, you broke the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that.
This isn't funny.
I feel really connected to this neighborhood. Cabrini Green was the projects. I just moved in around the corner.
The old candy factory.
I'm an artist.
You looking for Candyman? He's the monster that's part of this neighborhood.
Why are you drawn to this?
I'm hoping to spread the story all about Candyman. The mirror invites you to summon him. You should say his name. I dare you.
Candyman. Candyman.
Candyman.
Candyman.
Shut your mouth!
Yeah.
I think I made a mistake. I'll bring him back.
Candyman isn't real.
Something's happening to me.
He had a purpose for you to be another one of his terrible stories.
I guess he found me. I am the writing on the wall. The sweet smell of blood. My victim.
This is not real. It's not real.
Yeah, the
Obviously-
body count definitely looks bigger.
Yep. I love it. I love the scene, the setup with all these girls looking in the mirror and this
Yeah.
other girl, after they say it, steps in and scares. That's a great scare, and it's a great situation for that other girl that didn't say it. right there, I'm like, this is gonna be badass. That's my little Mark Richardson badass. That's what I would say on the movie poster.
What's your thoughts on it, Zoe?
I like the trailer a lot, and with Jordan Peele being the producer, I think it could really be something. That's a good comment. The main character being named Anthony, that is the baby from the original.
Yeah.
Just like
good catch.
Really interesting.
And we all know Jordan Peele loves some Easter eggs.
Yeah. I love. Yeah, every Twilight Zone episode, he threw something in there.
Now, what about you, Sylvester? What do you think of that trailer?
I mean, I love it. I really can't wait to see the story because I'm a little confused about Anthony. I guess like his mother, more likely than not, his mother took him out of the projects and then just decided not to inform him that he got kidnapped by Candyman when he was a child. And now he grows up and he gets obsessed with it. And I just feel like if you told him his history, he probably wouldn't be saying Candyman everywhere, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I'm definitely excited to see it.
And you guys comment and let us know if you're excited. Stitch says it looks so good. I'm excited for it. Summerfield says it looks pretty good. Angela says it looks fantastic. Sarah says yay. And William says Candyman's trying to possess him. Yeah. Now,
even as we speak.
Let me share with y'all my thoughts on this. And like I told everybody watching before, if you hadn't shared this, share it up right now because we want everybody out here hanging out with us talking horror. Let us know what you think of it. Is Candyman going to be good or is it going to be bad? Now, I feel like it's very risky. And the reason it's risky is Candyman is such a classic. It's hard to remake a classic. It's very, very hard. And when you try to step in some shoes like Candyman, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Phantasm, you got to come correct or the audience, the horror community is going to shut you down. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I don't like is I don't like that Jordan Peele is only producing and not directing. And I'm curious to see how Jordan Peele produces. He's an amazing director. He does have some faults. He's one of those directors that the films always look great coloring. I love the feel of Us, the creepy imagination, but that Hands Across America crap, I wasn't feeling that. It's like somebody needed to help Jordan on that. But Get Out looked really good, but he copied from the Stepford Wives, which he acknowledged that. But I feel like he's going to be like M. Night Shyamalan. I always mispronounce that. No disrespect, M. Night. He's going to have a great twist or it's going to bomb. He's going to be all or nothing because he's that creative. But
I mean, yeah. I know he admitted that he like copied Us from a Twilight Zone episode, and I know he's heavily influenced by some things. I don't know. Like, I'm still debating about Jordan Peele. Like, I really liked Get Out. I wasn't too big of a fan of Us. I liked the first season of Twilight.
What part of Us did you not like, Sylvester?
That it was predictable from, like, the very start. There was no other outcome for this. Once she got attacked by the mirror version, there was no other outcome that would have shocked you besides that was the girl the whole time. Spoiler alert. Sorry, that was the girl the whole time.
My thing with him is he's a fan. He loves this stuff.
Yeah.
He loves it like I love it. He wants, as a fan, to do the best he can. And he has respect for the project, and he brings, once again, an elegance and a class to everything he does that I've always admired. You know, I like the cat. You know, I like the Twilight Zones. There were some real major misses on Twilight Zone. Like there's a couple of episodes of like, what the hell? You know, I'd get angry sometimes. But when he hit the mark, it was brilliant. You know.
Season 2, I loved. Season 1, I wasn't too feeling it. But season 2, I loved pretty much every episode.
I liked the first episode. I only saw the first episode, and I thought that one was interesting. It was like in between Black Mirror and Twilight Zone, but did its own thing. It was the comedian.
Oh yeah.
at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was a cool one, but I haven't seen any others. So
Now, Dennis says, if you accept Donna D'Errico as an art collector, 3 is pretty good. Sarah says, yes, Sylvester, about your Us. And William wants to know, is Tony in it at all? Now, last time I talked to Tony, I brought up Candyman. And Tony's reply is, I'm under non-disclosure. So to me, if I'm hanging out with you and I say, yo, Mark, what's going on with that film? If you wasn't in the film, they wouldn't make you read it. They wouldn't make you do a non-disclosure.
Yeah, he's in it. He's in it.
Yeah.
I want the surprise to be it's him, because he could still pull that off.
Sure.
He's still got that look.
yeah.
Jamal says Candyman is that odd movie that wasn't exactly flawless, but still ended up being a classic. I was so stoked for the remake, but the first trailer I thought was lacking. You are spot on, Jamal. That little marionette puppet thing, it was I wasn't feeling that. And the other thing that gets me is in this trailer, the best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong, and if anybody's from Chicago, straighten me out, but I thought Cabrini Greens was a high-rise, and he's clearly standing in the hood in a low-rise complex. Something to think about, because they did tear down Cabrini Greens, so there's no filming at Cabrini Greens in this movie.
But I wonder if they're rocking that. I wonder if they're saying this is what it looks like now.
Yeah, I heard that there's going to be like touching basing on like what gentrification of the community and everything. So it might just be that. It might just be a whole new look at the area.
I think that's going to be really interesting.
I mean, it stands. I'm going to give it a go. I want it to be good.
Hell yeah.
But I don't have much faith in Hollywood.
I have faith in it. And it's not a remake. It is a sequel. I mean, it's not a remake. I think it's one of those things like Halloween where the other ones didn't exist, maybe, but it's definitely, picking up from the first one.
Now, this is the thing that scares me. You're talking about a major motion picture, and I don't know the lady, and I'm not trying to give her a hard time, but I'll just call it like I see it. Let me share this. We look at the IMDb. There's several things that get me caution. One is Jordan Peele's a screenplay by, Wynn Rosenfield is a screenplay by, and Nia DaCosta is a screenplay by. So you got 3 writers on the screenplay, and in Hollywood, the more writers you have means the studio couldn't make up their mind, so they kept hiring people to put them in, unless Wynn and Nia is a writing team. But then what exactly did Jordan do? So writing credits are always scary when you have multiple, but when you look at Nia, I'm just going to call it like I see it. Very beautiful young lady. She directed really nothing. She's got 3 credits, 5 as a director. And when you say director, she directed Candyman, a short named Candyman, 2 episodes of a TV show, Top Boy, Little Woods, which I've never seen, and Night and Day. So, I'm not sure that she might have the experience to take this where it needs to go. I'm hoping she does. I hope that Jordan done found the next, big time director in horror.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
That doesn't mean shit to me. A lot of times when you have so many credits, I want something fresh. We all want something. Let's face it. We all want something fresh, new, exciting. And that's where we get it. We get it from these new writers, these new directors. We get something that they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're going to try to do something daring. I hope. That in my mind, that's what I want to see. But Peele, I think, overlooked everything and went, okay, I like this, don't like this, don't like this. It's his name. And he's the hot guy right now, and he's going to do really well in his career for years to come. So he wants this to be a huge hit. So I just think his name's on it because he changed things to make it rock. That's my opinion.
And Dennis makes a good point. Dennis knows somebody in Hollywood because he makes a good point. Sometimes producers hire artist directors so they will follow what a producer wants. And Nia, if you're watching, I wish you the best of luck. I won't get to know you, but I want you to tell me if we chilling, Nia, how you got to be Candyman director because I want to know that secret so I can hustle.
I think she's gonna do good. I mean, like Jordan Peele gave us Get Out right out of the box, so I'm pretty sure he's willing to open up these doors and give opportunities to these directors. So, and plus, I doubt Jordan Peele would even put his name anywhere near Candyman if he didn't bring his A game and help her bring this movie. I'm not even gonna say help her because for all I know, she just rocked it on her own and he was just sitting back. I don't know, but I don't think he would slap his name on it if he didn't believe in her and in this film.
No, there's money in this too.
There's some people in Hollywood, and I could name names if you wanted me to, but I ain't gonna name names tonight. Maybe one night I'll expose you lame asses out there. There are some people that will license their name, legendary people, for a little bit of money and have no say in the film and just get this is such and such film. I don't think Jordan's that man.
Yeah, I hope not.
I honestly don't. If he turns into that man, then I think he will lose support from the community. What's your thoughts on the whole thing, Zoe?
I'm excited to see what she does. I think, as Mark said, we need something fresh, and to see a young Black woman, directing this, it could be really awesome. I hope she comes out swinging. Great.
I think she is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious because I respect the hustle. I mean, you get in there at the top of the studio and get a property like Candyman. And to be fair, I was talking junk, and I still am about Danny McBride and them effing up the new Halloween. He should have did Print Your Highness Part 2 instead of doing Halloween, but they gave him the gig,
I think Bill Murray said it best when he said that he thought if we went to war, we should have only women fighting. And that way, if we win, badass. But if we lose, we'd say, yeah, but you lost to a bunch of girls.
Man, that ain't cool, Mark. I'm gonna send Zoe over there to beat you up.
Hey, that's Bill Murray, folks. I'm just quoting him. I'm just saying, if it sucks, you go, oh, it's a girl director. She's gonna get the put with what was that Black Christmas remake? Woo, woo. That was bad.
I didn't want
Nope.
See, that's the reason why all of you guys should be drinking. By the way, you would say stuff like that.
Only thing I gotta say is, if we go to war, I take a Xena the Warrior Princess with me anytime and kick all them men's butt, man.
I love it.
I'll follow Xena anywhere.
I did. Room 6. Did a movie called Room 6 with her. I didn't even realize it was her until somebody pointed it out. She was
stop the feed. You did a movie with Xena the Warrior Princess.
Yes, I did. What's her name? What's her actual name?
Lucy Lawless.
Yes.
No,
I did a film. No, it wasn't Room 6. It was Dark Room. The movie was Dark Room, and she plays a battered wife. And I had no idea. I always get in that position. And Eben could see somebody in the crowd and go, hey, there's Warren Zevon. What? How do you know that's him? I work with people all the time, and I have no idea who it is until after I worked with him. But yeah, she played a battered wife in a movie called Dark Room. She was wonderful, but I had no idea it was Xena, and she was really good. Yeah, when I found out, I acted like I knew everything. Once someone told me who it was, I acted like I knew who she was, and and we talked.
Next time you on set and Xena is around, give her my number.
Okay, you got it. I have one real quick. It has nothing to do with anything, but I was doing a
Hold up. Say that again, Mark.
What?
Say that again.
I'm going to interrupt everything. I just have a quick story that I have to tell you. Okay, just real quick. I was doing Fangora convention. I would make things. I'd make screwed up like play sets like Godzilla King of the Monsters versus Jesus King of the Jews, and you got Godzilla and Army Men and Jesus and stuff, and I'd make like army sets. But one of the things I made was an Exorcist lunch bell, and this is way back in the early '90s, way before people started making this stuff. And it came with Linda Blair spit pea soup. And this guy comes up and he goes, "Oh, I just want the soup can. I really think that's funny." And I'm like, "Well, you have to buy the lunch." Oh, it was a lunch pail that I had made. You have to buy the lunch pail. The thermos had the lunch pail had, Linda possessed Linda Blair. The lunch pail, the thermos had the priest coming to the door, and it came with the can of spit pea soup. He goes, "Yeah, but I just want the can." I'm like, "You got to buy it all because it's a package deal." And he had like these people with me giving me dirty looks. I'm like, "Screw this guy." And he goes, "You won't sell just the can?" I go, "No." And the guy walks away. And I'm like, "What a dick." And the guy walks up to me and goes, "Hey, what did William freaking want?" And I go, "Oh my God." And I'm running after him. I'm trying. I gave him the can. You can have it. You can have it. So I'm telling off William freaking. It's like my favorite movement of all time, but I didn't know what he looked like. But okay, I'm sorry I interrupted everything that we're talking about for that story.
Now, let's go. The other thing we were talking about, and I'm gonna throw this out here. Have you ever watched True Blood, Mark?
I worked on it. I day played on it.
Ooh.
Okay, Sylvester wrote an amazing article about Lafayette. Tell us about Lafayette, Sylvester.
I wrote about why Lafayette was my favorite character.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was just this outspoken badass, and I felt like he was, I don't know, I felt like he was kind of like the moral compass of the show. Whatever was going on, he just really spoke what everybody was thinking. And the whole basis of the article was just breaking down that one scene with the AIDS burger line, and just speaking about why I felt like that just solidified him being my favorite character in that series for me as a whole. So like, yeah, I love Lafayette. It's like finding out that he passed away and everything. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I love the scene in True Blood where he's pimping out that whatever that little redneck kid was that wanted that vamp blood, and he made him like do the little dance in front of the camera and stuff to get blood. That was funny. And
yeah, what was it?
Troy,
Brother.
What do you think of True Blood?
I always thought it was like a show. So
What not?
Oh.
I've never seen it. I always thought it was like, I don't know, one of those shows, kind of like Riverdale. But I could be wrong. Am I wrong?
It was darker than Riverdale because it was on HBO. Like, it was
the sex scenes were off the hook.
Yeah, I was about to say there's way more sex scenes than it actually needed sometimes, but it was still a great series.
Now I'll tell you, TV show that's got the best sex scenes.
What's that?
Huh?
The TV show that's on Stars that's got the best sex scenes, and then we're moving on from this topic, is Power.
What is it?
Power. You got to watch Power, Mark.
I guess so.
It's on Stars. Now, Mark, you said you day played on True Blood. Tell us, you got to have some True Blood stories.
I wish I did. Warner Brothers, 4:00 in the morning, screaming in the woods. I don't remember. I mean, every time I worked on it was like an extra hand. Like a friend of mine would call me and go, "Hey, come to work with the art department and stuff." I never got to talk to any of the actors. Everybody seemed really wonderful. Who's the actor that played Lafayette? What was his name? Do you know? Oh,
really
sorry.
don't want to mess up his name.
You rock, because I don't know names whatsoever. If it wasn't for dude or bro, I couldn't have a conversation in this town. But everybody on that show was very sweet. I thought, and everybody on that show was beautiful too. I was amazed by how pretty all the actors were on that show. They were good-looking people. But yeah, I don't have any. I stole some napkins from, what was the club called? There was a club, and I remember grabbing a bunch of napkins because I knew I could sell them on eBay, and after a while,
Yeah.
I'm horrible that way.
His name was Nelson Ellis, and I remember when I served in Afghanistan. Like, I was in Afghanistan, and I was a cook, so whenever I was cooking, I threw on True Blood, and I threw on like the first season, and I just had it in the background while I was cooking, and then like the cafeteria just started getting more and more people in it, and it turned out it was like a lot of the Afghani soldiers. They were all just piling in there, and like my first sergeant came in, he's like, "Turn this off. They think it's porn." I was like, "What?"
Oh my God!
He was like, "They think it's porn. Turn it off." I was like, "Oh."
Well, yeah, you could relate to Lafayette as a cook too. That's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Sylvester, for your service. I'm not gonna hold it against you that you was one of them army dogs instead of one of us devil dogs, but we're all on the same side as veterans, and I know, being deployed myself, it's a special kind of comforting that a series can give you when you're overseas and you're away from everything you're familiar to.
Yeah.
You know, it is. I just watched, I know this is off topic, but we never go off topic, but I would take us off topic.
Oh,
you know,
God forbid.
The Outpost. That was based on the deployment in Afghanistan. It is an amazing story of an outpost in Afghanistan, in between Pakistan and Afghanistan, in the tribal area. There was an outpost, the army man, and it was pretty much the post you went to die at. And it's a true story based on a book by Jake Tapper. It's on Amazon for $6.99. I feel like Millennium could have did a better job on this. Millennium's been doing shit for production for a little while, so they need to tighten up over there at Millennium. Those soldiers deserved a better movie, but I think you guys, if you're looking for something that's some action, that's a war movie that's based on something true, The Outpost is good. Orlando Bloom, Clint Eastwood's son's in it. And it's disturbing because I can't watch a movie like that without remembering that this is based upon true people that did get shot in battle and did die in battle and did sacrifice, for our country in their service. But anyway, that's my off topic. Zoe, I really think you should have an off topic story. Do you got an off topic story?
Story.
Anything.
I worked on the films. Well, I haven't been I didn't work on Teen Wolf, but I worked with a lot of the people and on the set of Teen Wolf, and that was really interesting.
Cool.
Did you work with Rob Hall?
Rob Hall. I don't think so. I worked with do you know Claire and Lily Andrew?
No. I'm if I saw him, like I say, I'm horrible with people.
Tim Andrew, I think he worked on the show, and we worked. His daughters worked on this movie. They made this movie about like this kid falling in love with a ghost. It's called Max and Me, and we got to use the set that Teen Wolf was shot on. It was really interesting, and a lot of the crew was brought on from Teen Wolf. So.
Now, I want to know, everybody watching this, what are your thoughts on Day of the Dead? Because that was the other topic. We know Candyman's got me excited. I'm excited. And before we move to Day of the Dead, I got something I want to say to the Bloom House out there, Jason. Stop delaying your damn films and release them. You got to deal with Universal. Go straight to VOD for $19.99. Use the business model that Trolls World Tour and give us some horror movies to watch. We're on quarantine.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We're kind of sick of Shudder.
I'm tired of Shudder. Tighten up too.
Uh,
I haven't seen Day of the Dead. Actually, is it good? I saw Night of the Living
the
Dead.
original?
It's
Yeah.
the third.
The-
It's the third Candyman.
Day of the Dead
it's
is not the third Candyman.
it's the third in the Dead series from Romero, and
Oh,
I love it. It's my favorite. It's
I
my
thought
favorite.
Candyman
Oh yeah,
3
you were talking about Candyman. Yeah.
Yeah,
We should have told you, Mark.
Candyman 3 was
Yeah,
called
that's,
Day of the Dead.
Really?
yeah.
Probably, but
Yeah,
we're talking
I
about
think it
George
is.
Romero,
Isn't it?
Day of the Dead, in an army bunker with some cool zombies trying to like formulate some stuff. Have you
Oh my
seen it?
God!
Yeah.
Of course, the opening sequence with all the hands coming out got me. I
Yes.
remember
From
being
the counter.
being like the only one in the theater, by the way, to see it, and that I remember jumping when that scene happened. But oh my God, I totally thought we were talking about Candyman.
No,
Day of the Dead.
you're 100% right. Like Candyman 3 is called Day of the Dead. Too.
Yeah, it's like what did he?
I love it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Day of the Dead
That
there,
matches
Sylvester?
up so well. I love Day of the Dead. It was just it was one of those movies that I could just sit down and rewatch all the time. Like when Netflix had it on for a little bit, that's all I did. I would put it on the background and then I would write. So I love Day of the Dead. It a lot of people I meet love the original Dawn of the Dead
Hell yeah!
as far as within the Dead series, but Day of the Dead's my favorite. I
Really?
like the remake of Dawn of the Dead more. But as far as Day of the Dead goes, I hate all their remakes. I don't know what they've all been trying to do. It felt like when it came to the remakes, everybody was so focused on Bub and just kind of forgot the whole concept of the rest of the movie.
Yeah, the remake of Day of the Dead was horrible. It was really
Guess who
bad.
produced that, Mark?
What's that?
Guess who put that out?
Who?
Millennium.
Oh, yeah, it was horrible.
They gave us Day of the Dead remake that sucked. They gave us Leatherface that sucked. And then halfway messed up the Outpost. Come on, guys.
Yeah, there's been, I think, 2 Day of the Dead remakes because there was like the first one was with Nick Cannon, and then the next one was Day of the Dead. I think it's like Bloodlines or something.
Yeah,
But
I
they were
remember
both
trying to watch it. It looked like something from Sci-Fi Channel. It looked so
It
bad.
was so bad. It was so
Now,
bad.
I want to know what's everybody, go to this week. What you watching or plan on watching this week? Sylvester, we'll start with you. What's on your playlist?
Wow. I don't even know. Like we've just been going down a rabbit hole, picking movies. Mostly, actually, at my house, we're deep into true crime. We just watch a lot of real murder things on YouTube. And
I watch a lot of real murders too. Zoe, what do you watch?
I watch Forensic Files all the time, but I'm gonna watch Cape Fear. I'm trying to find my Blu-ray of Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know where it went since I moved, but I'm wanting to see that again. I think as of new films, though, I think Cape Fear is on the list. And I know
Wait,
I'll let you
are
know.
we talking about the remake, or is there another Cape Fear I haven't heard about? Is there a third one coming out?
No, they put the original on Netflix.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a bit. That and the sequel, the remake, I think are spot on, great movies.
Yeah, they were both great. The remake.
I love
and the
Robert De
original.
Niro one, the remake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I haven't seen it before. I might rewatch Natural Born Killers at some point.
David Duchovny, he rocks in that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would
Mark,
rewatch Henry, but I don't. That's the one movie I don't know if I want to watch again.
Henry
I
Ford,
see the sequel
serial
to that.
killer.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
That one really is like the one that got me.
Yeah, there's certain movies out there that once is enough,
Yeah, I think that's one of them.
And I love that whole thing with and Henry portrait of a serial killer where he's like, Henry, Otis, don't touch your sister. You don't do that to your sister, Otis. I mean, that's a classic.
That's horrifying.
Gross.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Man,
that's
it's
what
so
horror's
weird.
supposed to do is horrify,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I still want to be entertained. There's, I mean, there's certainly Solo is another one. Solo, like I'll never. I mean, I'm pretty sure after I saw that film, I was red flagged by the FBI. I mean, there's certain films out there that are just I can't ever watch again ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they do it for like this shock value, and then they build this whole underground culture. But yeah, there's some movies I won't ever watch twice or watch, period. So.
Yeah, I think Cannibal Holocaust is one of
I was just gonna say that. I mean, my problem with that movie more than anything is they actually kill animals in it. I
That's
don't dig that at all.
an animal person. Like I don't
Poor
want
turtle.
that.
Yeah, that didn't get me too much.
I don't understand. It's like,
And let's call it out. Every time you say Cannibal Holocaust, I say the remake that Eli Roth did, Green Inferno, and didn't buy the rights to. Now,
Green
Lynn
Inferno was
says,
so
thanks,
funny.
guys, for your service. And
Thank you.
McKee said, love Day of the Dead. Haven't seen it in a long time. Levi says, yep. You got to come on here with us one night, Levi.
Yeah, we could get Levi up here. We should have Jaws, do a whole thing on Jaws with that cat.
Have to look that one up. Not sure, hadn't seen it. Scott says, watched Hanukkah last night. Hanukkah's a good movie if you guys hadn't seen it.
I do want to see that one.
It was just Sid Haig's birthday. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday? God bless you, Sid Haig. We all love you. When I saw it originally, I was a detective that comes in and I kind of say, go over, I yelled to pull out a gun. But when I saw the remastered of it, I'm the one that shoots Sid Haig. And I don't know if I like that. I was like, wow, I'm the guy that Sid Haig's last film. I shoot him and kill him. But it's an amazing film. Dick Miller is also brilliant in that movie. There's a lot of really great just little bits in that film that are really underrated and really good. I wish Hanukkah would do a lot better than what it's been doing.
Yep. Dennis says Rodney Dangerfield is fantastic in Natural Born Killers. I love Natural Born Killers.
I have such a good movie.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson scares the shit out of me.
He was.
Daddy was really a hitman.
Yeah.
And Julia says that look at her. It's like you don't know which way she's gonna go.
If I think his dad is or was serving a life sentence in prison, tough guy.
It's crazy.
So a lot of people said Henry is awesome, so understated. And it was funny because when The Walking Dead came out, I was like, Henry's in The Walking Dead.
Yeah. And he was just as intense. He was so good. Yeah. Such a great actor.
Wait, who is he in The Walking Dead? I never really watched that show.
Michael Rooker,
Daryl's brother.
The guy that gets his arm cut off and he makes that weird weapon.
Shouldn't I peek in? But yeah.
He's like a redneck racist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Merle. It was Merle.
Merle.
Yeah, Merle.
And now I got something for I want to throw out here. We're coming up on the hour. I wanted to Sylvester, I wanted you to tell us a little bit about your books. Because Sylvester's an author. He writes books. You need to check them out. Tell us about your trilogy that you got going on, Sylvester.
Oh, yeah. Currently, I write horror and fantasy, so I have 2 series going. But my horror series is called Planet Dead. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie horror. And I think if I had to compare it to something that people know, it'd probably be more Z Nation than it is Walking Dead. Like it's more Z Nation and Resident Evil because there's a lot of mutated zombies and different kinds of zombies than anything. And yeah, I love this series. I love writing it. I just kind of hop around in my own little country. Like in book 1, we were in Georgia. Book 2, we went to Texas, and book 3 is in Louisiana. So it's a lot of fun. We have like supernatural aspects in Louisiana. We had the Voodoo Queen, and we had a cult and everything. It's definitely a good time.
Where can we get your book?
I always wanted
Where
one
they
of
at?
those. They're you can get ebooks everywhere. They're in Barnes and Nobles and Walmart and Amazon, and definitely at my website. But
And we'll tag a link on Mad Monster with the excerpt from one of Sylvester's novels so that if you guys are watching this, y'all could jump on and have you something to read because reading is fundamental. And I think it's a lost art. And I think if you read, it kind of helps with the imagination a little bit. Zoe, do you? Well, I'm gonna start back. Sylvester, do you got any last words you want to take us out? You want to throw out here?
No, they need to stop making Day of the Dead remakes unless they're gonna do it good. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Zoe?
I am excited for the new Candyman. I was skeptical at first, but I've decided that I am excited about it. So that's what
Are you on board now that we had our little discussion here?
I am. Yeah. Especially if we see Tony Todd appear in Candyman. It'll be spot on.
Now, McGee said, my boyfriend thinks I'm crazy because all I watch is horror. Yes, I want the book too. You watch more horror, convert them or dump them. That's what I say.
Get a creepy boyfriend. Don't hire.
You can't trust someone that doesn't watch horror.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, Mark, you got some words you want to throw out here to us?
I'm going to quote the great Clive Barker for our evening. He says, everybody is a book of blood. Whenever you're open, you're read. Clive Barker, Book of Blood. That's from the short story, The Forbidden. I like that, and I thought I'd leave you with that.
I really love that.
One of the things I wanted to leave us with, typically I let one of you guys close it out, but since yesterday was Sid Haig's birthday, I want to let him have the last words. And one thing I want to throw out, because everybody knows, I know you like Rob, Mark, but I give Rob shit when he does stupid shit. And yesterday, he didn't even wish Sid Haig, he didn't even throw out a happy birthday post to Sid Haig on social media. Yeah, Rob, you can do better than that. I don't know if Rob, in all fairness, I don't know if Rob manages his own social media, but you need to tighten up, Rob.
Well, I get that. I know Christopher Ott said something like, I guess Rob wasn't selling anything with Sid. But you know what? Sid wasn't working. Rob got him and made his career bigger than it's been in decades. I'm just saying, and everybody knows I'm a Rob Zombie bitch, but he did know the talent. He did know the talent, brought him and wrote the perfect character for Sid Haig. And Sid Haig rocked it. And when people don't think of Sid Haig from the Batman series, they think of him as Captain Spaulding because of Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. And I get it. I agree with you 100%. But I love my Captain Spaulding.
Now I'm going to say this: if we're going to have a Rob Zombie night one night, I love Rob. I hate him, Rob. Sometimes I just call it like I see it. But if Captain Spaulding was not in Devil's Rejects or House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie would have never had a film career. If Sid Haig was not Captain Spaulding, those movies would have bombed all the shit.
He's the best thing in those, and I'm a huge Bill Moseley fan. He's the best thing in those films.
Okay, so I'm gonna let Sid take it out. Let's listen up, everybody.
Yeah, I would like to add something to this. This is kind of just the release and the success of this film. It's kind of a testament to just being diligent and believing in what it is that you do, and knowing somehow that there is a place for what it is that you have done, and never giving up. I'm going to take a little bit of your time and give Winston Churchill's graduating speech to Oxford University. Okay, and this is the speech in its entirety. Never quit. Never, never, never quit. And there you have it, folks.
That was the late great Sid Haig. Happy birthday to Sid. Thank you, Sylvester, Mark, Zoe, for joining in. Thank all you guys for watching. We appreciate you taking the time and coming on social media and hanging out with us and talking horror. Sergeant Horror for Mad Monster, we're out of here. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe, and we'll all see you soon.
Adios, bro.
Adios.